Okay, all of the steak has been taken from the pan and we're getting ready to make our gravy mixture, but I just want to show you how I do that. I have a little bit of water in here, roughly about 3 tablespoons. Okay, roughly about 3 tablespoons. To that, remember the chicken broth that we used earlier? I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of carnation, because remember I told you that carnation velvetizes. And to that, remember the flour that we used? Nothing wrong with it. We used it for our chicken, for our steak. Now we're going to use 2 tablespoons of it for our gravy. Okay. I'm going to put the top on this. Give it a shake. So let's go back over to the stove. And like I said, the pan part of it is out. Alright. Now, this is where we get our gravy from. Okay, and all those pan drippings down there, now it's going to turn into gravy. Turn my stove up just a little bit. Add just a little bit of water. I'll be right back. Now once you put that in and it starts to cook up, see how it's turning brown? See the color? This is a little bit of our smoked paprika. Okay. Now you see how it's thickened up? See, it's all thickened up now. Now I'm going to add water to it and 1/2 of my onions to it. Okay. I'm going to let that simmer for a minute. I'm going to put my steak back in and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, now I've let it just cook just a little bit, and as you can see, it's kind of watery. It's gone back to watery. It's not thick. That's still just the way we want it, because now we're going to put the steak back in. And remember, the steak was cooked in flour. So what's going to happen is the flour that's on the steak, now it's going to be added to the gravy and it's going to help to thicken it up. Do that, even though it started to thicken, we're going to put in some water, thin it back down, because we're going to have a lot of gravy here. The rest of the chicken broth that we had in the can. So I was able to take the chicken broth and the carnation and make the mashed potatoes and then turn around and make the steak. I'm going to put the rest of the onions in, and I just threw in a little bit of the paprika that I had left over there. I threw it in to the onions. That's why you see a little bit of red in it. Now we're going to cover this, let this cook for about 20 minutes on high, and we'll be back. The green peas, okay, and everything is still real hot. Then we have the mashed potatoes. Okay, and of course we have the steak. And if you look at the steak, you can see how it was able to cream up. The gravy's got good and thick. There you go. And I'm going to put some gravy over the top of my potatoes. And I'm going to put a little bit of the onions over the top of my steak. Now, I'm going to walk this back over to the table, clean up my plate a little bit, okay? Just to show you, today we have, and of course you have a nice beverage. We have the green beans, we have the mashed potatoes that we made from scratch, and we have the steak along with the onions. And if you cut into the steak, you can see that meat is still very, very tender. And that came all